I'm John Lane, Director of Percussion Studies and Professor of Percussion at Sam Houston State University, and I'm really excited to bring you a series of videos on snare drum fundamentals. This first video is going to just be about grip and stroke and my approach to building an organic technique. Now, this technique is really intended for concert snare drum, for orchestral playing, but definitely has transfer value to playing timpani, playing mallets, many other things. I want to start by kind of taking a step back and thinking about musicianship and the three dimensions of musicianship. There's the acoustic dimension, there's the mechanical dimension, and there's the artistic dimension. What we're going to focus on here is really on the mechanics. Musicianship, technique and musicianship are really based on our humanness, our oral and physical experience, our voice and language, how we move, how our body moves through and with tools, how we respond to resonances and rebound. For a percussionist, rebound is very important. So I like to think of this technique as organic because I'm teaching my body how to move with and through and around my tools, developing this kind of organic technique. So let's jump right in. We're going to start by building what I call a neutral fulcrum. Now, the neutral fulcrum might be different from what you're used to. You might be used to playing with a closed fulcrum where this space is closed. But I learned that if I studied my own anatomy, this is something I learned from a great teacher of mine, Ed Soph. He said, look at how your hand works. Look at how your body is built and build your technique around that. So I'm going to walk you through this. We're actually going to start from the ground up, all right? So we're going to start down here with our feet shoulder width apart. One foot slightly in front of the other when I'm playing snare drum because I want to be able to move front and back. So my right foot is slightly in front of my left. My hips are in alignment with my shoulders. I'm not leaning over the drum. I'm not tilting back. I'm in alignment. And now what I'm going to do is lift from the elbow here. I'm going to lift to this position. Now, what I've got here is everything from the elbow down is going to be totally relaxed. And to make sure it is, just give it a little shake there to make sure. All right, so now from here down, what we're going to do is hinge the wrist now. And what I want you to notice while you do this with me is I want you to notice how your fingers naturally collapse into the palm of your hand, just like that. Now, if you'll notice, now that my hand is closed, I've got this natural curved shape of my hand. My index finger and my thumb, there's a space here. My hand doesn't naturally close like that, all right? So this gets at the natural curve, the natural shape of your hand. If I take a stick and put it in there, then I've got basically three main points of contact. I've got my middle finger, my thumb along the side, my index finger along the side. These other fingers in this, I call this, by the way, the three-point orchestral fulcrum, a neutral fulcrum. All right, three main points of contact there. These other fingers, sometimes they're going to be engaged, sometimes not. Depends on what I'm playing. But that's basically the grip. Now, the basics of stroke. We want to think of control like a dial, 0 to 100, 0 being completely loose and relaxed, all right? So I'm going to demonstrate that by throwing this ball. Now, when I throw the ball at the ground, everything here, my shoulder, my body, everything, my arm, everything goes loose as I throw the ball, and then I catch the ball just because I don't want it to go flying off. That's essentially what we're going to do with this stroke. We're going to tap into that feeling that we've had that, everybody's, as a kid, right? We've played with balls, we've bounced balls, we understand that. We're going to take that concept here. So now the ball is on the tip of the stick. Now I'm going to take that ball, I'm going to throw it at the surface of the head, and I'm going to let everything go. So at the moment of impact, everything is let go of my hand. And it's hinging like this. All right? I'll show you again. So I'm going to start with it up here. Here's the ball. I would call that the zeroed out stroke. Now, as we move towards one level control, now we're going to start thinking continuous motion. So now, instead of, you'll notice I used a little bit of arm, a little bit of wrist in that stroke. When it got to the bottom, boom, let go. Now we're going to engage our back fingers. We're going to use more wrist, and we're going to try to keep this stroke going, continuous motion. That would be equivalent to, with the ball analogy, bouncing a basketball, right? Dribbling a basketball. You've got the arc as the ball comes up, it contacts your fingers, you provide some resistance, push the ball back down, and continuous motion, okay? There's no stopping motion in this stroke. Once you do that, and once you have that down, you do that with both hands, then you're on your way to one level control, which is the next video.